So tours, one or multi-step flows, there's lots of use cases. 3-step tours have a 72% completion. So simple as keep them short. Do not create long tours. If you are going to create a long tour because you think, hey, there's a lot to do in this flow and they have to set up and they have to configure 5 things, think about, can we break it up into separate actions? A whole setup flow might have 20 actions that a user has to take, and really detailed. So in that flow, where is the problem? What are the key goals in that flow, and where are the problems in that flow? And so once you figure out like, hey, well, people are struggling with this decision between option A and option B, then what you need is something right then and there to explain, hey, option A would be helpful, or most people choose option B, or you can change it later. You don't need to guide them through the whole process. Really figure out where is the bottleneck. And maybe, the data will tell you some of that.
For us, everything comes down to benchmark, test, and optimize. And so, you talked about 3 steps, and that's an average. And I think every company should know that for us, it's 3 steps or 2 steps or 4 steps. It's definitely not 10 steps. And so the key is get the data right. And if you have the data right, you can do all of these things in a very rigorous and systematic way so that you know it's working. And here's the thing, the first time you do something, you don't know if it worked or not. I mean, you're not going to have a 100% completion rate. And so, the key is to understand what is that number that we're starting with, and then how do we beat it? How do we increase that customer engagement? And how do we take somebody, to a place which is, where the result is not necessarily completing the tour, right? It's some other event or some other type of thing that provides value, right? More revenue, more customers, more often lower costs. That's basically
right. And we really endorse working with a CDP or working with an analytics provider. We have integrations with Segment, Amplitude, Mixpanel, Heap, because we'll collect the data and send it back there so that you can marry it with other product data, because the goal isn't just completion. The goal is like action. So what is the impact? There's a couple of other snippets of help here, like, videos. They can lengthen engagement. The kind of video that works, I think, is the kind of video where someone is speaking to a user and it's like an introduction, like the co-founder or the CEO or product manager speaking to me, welcoming me to the product. Keep it short. Do not share a really detailed screencast with me about everything I can do. It's just not interesting to watch that. So that's my recommendation on videos. Just think about it from a marketing lens.
Video is becoming pervasive, and the companies that are able to use it effectively are seeing higher engagement. It's one of those things where telling the appropriate story and having the appropriate message in the video is going to be the thing that drives whatever that action is. Keep in mind what you're trying to do with the video. Don't just have a video. And so if what you were attempting to do with the video results in that consumer action, then great, it's working. If it's not, if you don't know, you shouldn't do it.
And then keeping copy short. That's another thing that I see a lot of mistakes around. People put 4 lines to something. Users don't read anymore. They're scanning. They're assessing like, hey, is this relevant to me? So I always recommend that you have scannable copy, which what we would say is 2 lines maximum. And also, if you have a title and a body, just remember that people will scan the title, not the body. And so if you're going to do that, make sure the title itself is relevant and valuable, so that if a user only reads or scans the title of your experience, they've got enough information to keep moving forward.